Namaste. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about a very important interface, Requestdispatcher Interface. See, it dispatches the request to another page. This resource can be an HTML page, JSP page, or a servlet page. I mean to say, where we are dispatching the control. It forwards the control to the target page, or it can include the content of another page. Now, you might compare it with the action tags that we have studied in JSP. Those were JSP:forward and JSP:include. See, methods of Requestdispatcher Interface. The first method that I am going to tell you about is forward method. It's a prototype, that is signature is like public void forward, and as arguments we'll be having servlet request, reference of servlet request, and reference of servlet response. And this method throws servlet exception and IO exception. Second method is include. Public void include. Its signature goes like this: public void include, and we have got reference variables of as arguments. We have got reference variables of servlet request and servlet response. And this method include also throws exceptions like servlet exception and IO exception. Now you can see it yourself that forward method will simply take the control to the target page. Right, it will dispatch the control to the target page and the current page will be left. But in case of include, what will happen is the output of that page that we are including, that will be inserted into the output of the current page. Control will not be transferred to the target page. Now, how do we obtain the object of Requestdispatcher? Now, as you know, we can either forward or use forward method, or we can use include method. Now in the first case, you can see I am getting an object of Requestdispatcher by writing this Requestdispatcher RD. Now this RD is just a name which could be anything. Requestdispatcher is interface. RD is equal to, how do we get its object? By writing request.getRequestDispatcher, and within parentheses we will give the name of the page where we want to dispatch. Now that can be a JSP page, HTML page, or a servlet page. Here I have given an example of suppose I have assumed it to be a servlet page. So I have assumed the name of the servlet to be my servlet1. Now this one single statement will not suffice. We will have to write in conjunction with this, we will have to write the second statement also, which goes like this: rd.forward request, response. Now this request is nothing else but object of HTTP servlet request, and response is an object of HTTP servlet response. These are the reference variables. These are the objects that we get automatically in our do post and do get methods, right? And this is to forward the control to the target page, and here I have written or, that means when we want to include the page. The first statement is just like this, getting the object by writing Requestdispatcher RD is equal to request.getRequestDispatcher, and within parentheses I have written my servlet1. Now I don't want to forward the control to this page, I just want to include the content of this page. So I would write rd.include request, response. Let me repeat this again. That's request is an object of HTTP servlet request, and response is an object of HTTP servlet response. And we get these objects automatically when we use do post or do get methods in our servlets.